Good morning, everyone. Morning, Darrell, Marty. Yeah, we got people flying in this morning. Good morning. Hey, Ollie, Eric, Puerto Rico. Good morning. Morning, Darrell. All right. I appreciate y'all jumping on. Princess, George Fitzhugh, Jim Christia. I think that might be Gina. Good morning. Good morning, morning, everybody. My man, Jim Mallory. Good morning. All right, well, let's get rolling, everybody. Appreciate you jumping on this Thursday morning. As always, just some quick instructions for folks that are maybe new to Periscope. If you would like to share this with folks, share this with your team or other people you know, if you just swipe your screen to the right and then just follow the instructions, then it'll walk you through doing that. And you see some of those hearts going up if you, good morning, Brenda. If you hear something that you like, if you just tap the bottom right of the screen, then it'll send some hearts up. So appreciate that. And anyway, so hey, what we want to talk about today is inspecting what you expect. And what that means is basically knowing where you are, but tracking where you're going, tracking your progress. So I'm real big on tracking my business. Why is that? Well, every business on the planet, traditional business, etc., they track their business. They track their progress, their numbers, their growth, their income, their revenue, their gross, their net, everything. They track, I mean, to a very, very high degree, any successful business anyway. So we all own a business, don't we? So shouldn't we track as well? We've been talking about a lot of things, goals and bullseyes and these kind of things. So how do you monitor your progress? How do you make sure you're on track? How do you effectively set goals that are realistic? And listen, I'm all for shooting for the moon, but when we're tracking, we know without reason, and we always want to take the lid off when we're setting goals, but we know what we can do based on what our trajectory is, if that makes sense. And obviously we can all have explosive growth and we want that. So why should we track our business? That's one good question. Well, one reason is it's a confidence builder. It's a huge confidence builder, not only for you, but for your team. Not only do I track what's going on with me, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I track here in a second and even how I do it, but not only do I track the progress of the overall business that we have, but I actually track about 28 people at any given time that are in our team and see how their business is tracking in overall numbers compared to prior months. So I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with people, and maybe they're saying, man, I don't feel like it's happening this month. I feel like I'm not on track. I'm behind, and this kind of thing. Well, I flip open my book where I track everything, and I look at their numbers. And there's nothing better than talking with someone and they're saying, man, it's just not happening. I'm not feeling the mojo, right? And I can look and say, no, actually, you're up by 3% or 8% or 1% or whatever, or you're tracking right with last month, or hey, look, life is what it is and business is what it is. Maybe, you know what, you're right, you are off by just a little bit, but what does this do? This gives us the ability to give them a bullseye. And it gives us the ability to help folks on our team. So we know who's rocking, we know who maybe needs a little help. So we'll go spend some time and help them in their business. So that is, it's a confidence builder. It's a belief builder. It's a reinforcement tool that has been very important to me in the time that I've been in business. And I've been a tracker for a long time with my goals and in other business activities, that kind of thing. I'm a major goal setter. So to track it is to monitor again where you're going. So here's another question. So maybe you're sitting out there, maybe you're brand new. Okay, so I'm brand new. Why should I track my business? This is it's a great question. I've been asked this before. So why should you do that? It's for your future team. Picture yourself, because it's very difficult for us to escape our own perspectivity. And what I mean is we look at who and I'm going to share that with you in just 1 second. Great question, Melanie. We are stuck in the moment where we are. We are what we are where we are. And that's kind of where our perspective is. So what we want to do is start looking down the road. We want to have a very big picture mentality with this business. So as a brand new person, and I know, there isn't going to be activity necessarily in terms of numbers in your business every day, but that's okay. What I do is at the beginning of every month, I print out a calendar for that month. And again, I'll share with you exactly what I track, but I'm putting information in every single day of that calendar. If it's a 31-day month, I've got information and numbers that I'm tracking in all 31 days of the month. So, and if it's zero, it's zero. If you're brand new, you're going to have 0 days, and that's okay. But let's fast forward 2 years. And this is the important part with this, is you got it. Look at that, Marty Wayne. He tracks exactly what I track. That's awesome. So, but you're looking down the road. Okay, so 2 years from now, you're not planning on being just starting, right? So what we want to do, picture 2 years down the road, you're a presidential director, okay, or you're a national or BPD or whatever the case may be. You're going to be able to look back because you will have conversations with people who are brand new. And let's say it takes you 3, 4, 5 months to really kind of start getting some traction. And you've got somebody on your team that's in that exact same position. And they come to you and say, man, I can't get this thing going. I'm frustrated. Maybe it's not for me. I don't know. And then you open up your book and you say, let me show you something. When I got started, it took me 4 months to get my first associate. And that's not the example necessarily that we all want to set, okay? But it is what it is, right? So when you can go back and document and you can say, look, it took me X amount of time to do X, but look at where I am today. Is that a confidence builder for your new associate who's struggling? Yeah, because they know all of a sudden you're relatable to them because they know you've walked in their shoes. And there's nothing more important than that and helping them understand that not only have you been where they are, but they can be where you are, which is further ahead than where they are. So again, it's a huge confidence builder. So have that documentation so down the road you can share that and help your team. It's an invaluable story. So, okay, so what do I track? Well, what I track, and Marty Wynn just put it down on the screen there, and it's funny because Marty and I were talking maybe a month or two ago, and of course you guys know he's an absolute rock star. Huge success history record in this industry, and it's an honor to work with him in our company and within our team. I track on a daily basis. I track how many associates have joined that day, how many have joined month to date, and how many are total on the team. I also track TQV, that's total TQV. I track group volume. And that's basically the system saying this is the volume that you're eligible to be paid on, if you haven't researched that. I also track commissionable volume. And then the most important, and it's at the bottom of each square in my calendar, is I track my usable TQV towards requalifying or maybe moving on, promoting to the next rank. So why do I track those things? And what am I looking for? See, my goal when I do this is that I want to know, and that's another great thing, Sean Hill, appreciate you sharing that. That's the other thing, is track your activity. And I actually do that too. I'm talking about tracking results today, but tracking your activity, again, it goes back to what we talked about last week, which is, detach yourself from the outcome, attach yourself to the process, track your activity and track the progress, but don't get emotionally attached to it. Okay, so again, Sean, that's an awesome point. But my goals when I'm looking at this on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is I'm looking at the prior month and I'm comparing where I am compared to the prior month. Here's why. Okay, let's say you are a regional director, and you promoted to regional director last month on the last day of the month. Okay, and of course, February we had 29 days. Well, you want to make sure that you qualify again this month at regional director at an earlier date, right? Preferably much earlier in the month. So now you move on to the next rank of managing director. But let's say that you're requalifying at the same rank, whatever that is, and you qualified at a given day. If you qualify 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 days earlier, that's a win. That's a major win. Now you're not just at your given rank, you're what I call well qualified. Okay, so you've got momentum. Things are happening for you earlier in the month, so you're focused on not only making it happen more quickly, but again moving on to the next rank. My goal every month is as I roll through the month to hit each requalification earlier than I did for that particular rank the prior month, if that makes sense. So it's just, again, it's making things happen more quickly as you're rolling through. So I hope that's something that everybody can grasp. That's, again, that's something that's been important to me. Look, here's the bottom line with tracking your business. If you view this as your GPS, here's what our GPS does for us. It gets us where we want to go, right? Okay, that when we input our destination, that's our bullseye. So say your bullseye is obviously to promote to the next rank and then keep going to the next rank, the next rank, the next rank, and you keep going up, right? Our GPS can't get us where we want to go until it knows where it is, right? So when you turn it on, it's searching for signal, right? Once it finds where it is, then it can tell you how to get to your destination and how to do it in the most efficient way possible. When we track our business, we know where we are today. So knowing where we are today is a huge part of knowing what it's going to take to get where we want to go. Again, that enables us to set our bullseye, exactly what we need to do, and again, to go back to Sean's point, to know what our activity needs to be. We know if we're tracking our activity and our results, we know what our average is, and then we use this in tracking our business and our overall results to know the progress towards the bullseye of getting to the next rank. So I hope that makes sense. Listen, I want to wrap it up with a quote from Darren Hardy. So excited to see him. We're going to see him in 8 days. Can't wait until Revolution. I'm so fired up to be there. Darren Hardy, I love this quote. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. So again, it's about just tracking, monitoring, and don't get bogged down in those details. You know, this is just, it takes me 2 to 3 minutes at the end of every day, but he does rock. Can't wait to see him. But knowing where you are is going to be a huge help in getting where you want to be. So again, I hope that helps. Hey guys, no, thank you. I appreciate you being on. Go get the day. Let's go own this day and go rock it. And again, we'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll wrap up the week. So have an awesome day. We'll talk with you soon.